So Juliet, you focus on talent and leadership at companies that Kleiner has invested in. What do you think the number one thing is that you look at that matches talent with a company?
It's the environment, and if you think about the executives in today's environment, you've got a very challenging macro economy. You've got a technology environment that is really growing so quickly, and you've got a really challenging recruiting environment where engineers are the new currency. And so making sure that you have the right leadership that can adapt and operate in that environment is absolutely critical. I sort of call it the ability to have that mental agility. It's how do you have the agility, the dexterity to be able to go between all the different issues and at the end of the day deliver superior results.
So you say engineers are the new currency. That's a very interesting take, and I'm wondering if you believe that leadership, the CEO of a company is the most critical, or those that they choose?
So I believe in both. You need absolutely the right CEO at the helm of a company to lead an organization. But if you look at what's happening in the digital economy today, the engineering talent, having the right engineers that can innovate and that can deliver is absolutely critical to success. And I think what's really interesting is how many companies are making one of their early hires ahead of recruiting. If you look at Flipboard, Mike McHugh, a very experienced CEO, hired a great director of engineering recruiting to go and get the best talent. And that's also why the founders in today's environment are so critical. Having an Eric Fang with his track record from Hulu to go and start early, he was a magnet for talent. And so as venture capitalists, we're having to combat that and be able to support our companies and identify the best talent.
We're in the age where small startups can, sometimes if they make it very quickly, become massive, cumbersome technology companies. Do the characteristics of an entrepreneur, of a small startup, fit the necessary characteristics of a CEO of a large technology company?
Well, sometimes, and these are all, the companies in question, whether it's, a Google, these are great success stories to have. And there are success stories out there of the Bill Gateses of the world that managed to remain at the helm or almost at the top of the helm for a company through its duration. Here's what I've observed, Poppy, is it really takes a great team to support the entrepreneur and help them grow and learn. So at Google, you had Eric helping to develop Larry and Sergey with the support of someone like a Bill Campbell as an advisor around the outside that enabled them to grow and learn. But sometimes on the outside, you need to bring on board, whether it's a Meg Whitman into an eBay, to support an entrepreneur and lead the business. So I think it really depends on the situation. And in an ideal world, the founder does remain, and the founder can remain supported by an executive, because that founder-driven culture and the evolution of that founder-driven culture is really important to retention going forward. And I think that that's why organizations like Google, like Amazon, for example, like Facebook, have been really successful, because the strength of that culture is very enduring.